growing up, there was a need for a lot of our families that were Aboriginal families that were travelling out of from all over New South Wales. That back in them days, it was the main hospital was Sydney, so Newcastle was a stopover night for them. So as a little fella, my younger brother and I were always giving up our room for our uncles and aunties and dad's mum's cousins that were travelling through to Sydney.
In accord with Aboriginal tradition, healing traditionally took place around the campfire with a lot of family members gathering around, extended family supporting the person who was unwell. And so Yallarwah Place was built to serve that purpose for all the peoples throughout northern New South Wales and the Hunter, to provide a place within John Hunter Hospital, otherwise a whitey kind of complex from an Aboriginal perspective, to provide an Aboriginal space that actually was supporting that kind of historic and cultural healing process.
We had this sense that it was a part of that bushland behind there, so the track leading down to, the circle of reflection, that it could be a place where you might want to, just take a meander, gather your thoughts or be alone with your thoughts even, and then to obviously in terms of the marking of the place, the concept of the book, the story of Threlkeld and Biraban, the whole idea was that you're not alone, you're just away from everybody for 5 or 10 minutes or even half an hour, and that you're worth something, you're valued, we care for you and we think about you. So that's what we were hoping Yallarwah was always about. That's what my dreams was for it.
I can still remember the Vice-Chancellor of the university planting a tree and saying this with just himself there. I plant this tree in the spirit of the Currawong, black feather, white feather lifting me. I plant this tree to call on all Australians to replant a shared future together. I mean, if we can keep doing that with that intention, then slowly we can continue to make a difference.
As an Aboriginal person, when you walk in and you see that artwork, you see those stories, it's like a connection, like they've already got a connection. So not to be overwhelmed. I don't know anyone in this hospital, I don't know how this system works in here, but seeing that Aboriginal artwork on the walls and sculptures that are in the gardens and that, it just breaks down that not a fear, but just that connection, I mean, it's really strong having that connection. It makes them feel, well, there's a partnership, there's a connection with the Aboriginal community.
I would hope that any artwork reflects those values of being good, decent people, loving, caring families, that there are characters, there are real characters. Uncle Bob was one of those characters. He was one of the greatest storytellers that I've ever had the good fortune to listen to. He could tell you things and conjure up images by words, and so if the artwork does that for people, makes you think outside of your own story, and I think that'd be a great thing.
So my advice to the young ones is just do what you love doing, sit down with your elders and take all those stories in, because there's dreaming stories and there's yarning stories. So you can put your grandmother's story into a painting. You can put your grandfather's story. It might have been a place where you used to go on holidays, sitting there on the bank, riverbank, fishing with your pop, with your old grandfather. So you can put that into a painting. So it's still ongoing, our artwork. But yeah, my advice to the younger generation is just keep doing what you love and absorbing all the stories.
Your dreams, aspirations, your visions means something. And if you can connect with what that actually means, and if you can remove all of those other things, you know, ego needs to go. Think about that gift. It is a gift. The ability to vision and to realize and conjure up stories, whether it be on paper or whether it's oral or film, is an important gift. And if you believe it, if it comes from the heart, if its intention is right, it will be right. It will be beautiful. And often people, I love moving away from stereotype. I like to break new ground. I like for it to be different. So, you know, don't just stick to the tried and true. Try something different. Create something new. You know, because that's what tomorrow is about.